everybody. Tonight's Metro West Conference matchup is about progress and response for the Chaska Hawks as they travel to the Orono Ice Arena to take on the Orono Spartans. Chaska enters this game coming off its best performance of the season, a decisive 7-1 home victory over St. Paul Academy, carrying that momentum forward and measuring themselves against one of the Metro West's most established programs. The Hawks know the challenge Orono presents. The Spartans are built around senior leadership, headlined by number 34 Jackson Knight, the leading goal scorer in the conference, and a power play that can change games quickly. Orono has been inconsistent this season, particularly defensively, giving up over 4 goals per game. Creates opportunities for a Chaska team that has shown, especially in its last outing, it can sustain offensive zone pressure and capitalize when the chances are there. For Chaska, the focus starts early. When the Hawks score first, their continues to drive the offense, sitting among the Metro West's top goal scorers, while Jake Campbell and Sam Swanson provide balance and experience up front. Defensively, the Hawks will once again rely on Frank Petz, who's faced more shots than any goaltender in the conference. Were shut out a season ago. Confidence, urgency, and execution define the task tonight in a conference game at home against a familiar opponent. We're waiting for the home.
That was so early.
We're sorry, folks. We don't understand why we're holding up here. Previous game wrapped up a little early. So we're waiting for a couple more moments before we get started. Starters for the Chaska Hawks, starting in goal, number 1, Frank Petz. Starting at defense, number 20, Bridger Colasar. Starting at defense, freshman number 22, Jackson Giel. Starting at forward, number 7, sophomore, Jake Campbell. Starting at forward, number 3, junior, Tyler Ramaka. And starting at forward, number 42, Alex Bardekin. Let's get ready for the Orono Spartans. Starting in goal, number 33, Augustus Foster. Starting in defense, number 20, Collar Malik. Starting at defense, number 25, Sam Lessie. Starting at forward, number 17, Ford Reagan. Starting at forward, number 15, Rocco Pasqua. And starting at forward, number 37, Max Sutcliffe. Here we go, folks. Players to watch, certainly for the Orono Spartans. The Metro West's leading scorer, number 34. Jackson Knight leads the Metro West Conference with a total of 54 points, 31 goals, and 23 assists. He has 9 power play goals and 8 power play assists. Followed up by Max Sutcliffe, freshman, who as a freshman has 22 points with 10 goals and 12 assists. For the Hawks, players to watch, number 3, Tyler Ramaka, who leads the team with 24 points, followed right behind by Jake Campbell with 23. Frank Petz has faced more shots in the Metro West Conference than any other goaltender and looks to be challenged again tonight. Jake Campbell steps into the face-off circle opposite of Fort Reagan. Face-off won by Campbell, back to Giel. Giel turns, gives it up to Sutcliffe right away. Sutcliffe with a shot off the side of the net. Sutcliffe works his way back up to Leckie. Leckie pushes it towards the net. Pasqua loses it behind the net. Vardekin tries to center, can't quite do so. Pasqua fires it towards the net. Giel there, steered aside. Good offensive time here for the Spartans right out of the gate, creating turnovers in the offensive zone. Vardekin clears over to Ramaka. Ramaka's got one-on-one with Leckie as he works his way around. Stops, looks for Vardekin down the center, slides it across. Tip just wide. Good play there by Reagan to tip it wide. Puck's kept in. Sutcliffe works his way through the middle. Spartans look to get a line change. Montague brings it up along the near boards, dumps it deep. Gutowski picks it up on the far side, dumps it towards the net right in front. Foster had to steer it aside. Puck cleared by the Spartans. Montague up the boards to Gutowski. Gutowski clears the zone. Knockley dumps it in. Picked up, controlled, contained in the zone. Here's Cavern. Works his way around. Tries to chip it up front. Can't quite complete the pass. Good play there by Connors to intercept. Gutowski brings it down on the near boards. Pushed into the corner by Knockleby. Knockleby wraps it around on the near side. DeLang pushes it forward. The Hawks can't. Hawks dump it deep. Knockleby. Spartans exit the zone. Here's Knight as he dumps it down. Cavern stops in the corner, sheds Colasar. Cavern tries to pass it into the center, but intercepted by Colasar. Puck battle along the far board, shot from the point. Bradstock wraps there, but it's deflected in front. Ramaka takes a check. Winter pinches to keep it in for Orono. Giel behind the goal line. Wraps it up, picked up, kept in by the Spartans as they dump it around. Hawks really struggling to get it out of their offensive or out of their defensive zone. Finally do so. Nugent brings it across the middle. Leaves the puck for Winter. Ramaka steals. Out to Colasar. Colasar pinches, but not quite in time. Bradstock races down. Bradstock fires. Petz there with a good save. Bradstock tried to go 5-hole. Couldn't quite do so. Campbell manages to clear the zone. There's Malik. Malik turns, leaves it. Leckie over to Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe cross ice. Pasqua intercepted by the Hawks. Montague chips it out of the zone. Swanson intercepts in the neutral zone, dumps it towards the net. Cavern over to Pasqua. Pasqua clears it on a nice sauce pass all the way across to Sutcliffe. Good play by Montague to chip it loose in the neutral zone. Dump deep. Connors back for the Hawks. Over to Thormasgard. Thormasgard tries to chip it up along the boards. Can't clear it. Picked up here in the center by Pasqua as he works his way across the center. Pushed wide by Montague. Tries to cut towards the middle. Good defensive effort there by Montague to keep him from cutting towards the middle, and Pasqua takes the goal off the post. Stoppage and play with 12:50 remaining here in the first period. Both teams with one shot on net. Swanson steps into the face-off circle, controlled by the Hawks, picked up by Thormasgard as he saucer passes it out, dumped all the way deep back in by the Spartans. Connors picks it up on the far side, sheds Cavern, steps up, takes a check. Puck works his way through the middle. Gutowski picks it up as he works his way down, dumps it. Knockleby there on the far side. Tyson Herman picks it up. Tries to connect with Nelson, racing down below the goal line. Can't quite do so. Puck's brought right out front. Nelson picks it up, dumps it out front. Knight picks it up. Knight works his way down the far side. Sidesteps a check by Gershevsky. Dumps it over to DeLang. DeLang fires it towards the net. Can't connect. Herman picks it up. Tries to bring it to the middle. Cavern picks it up in the slot. Colasar sidesteps a check. Works his way down on the far side, dumps it deep. Good defensive effort there by Knockleby. Long outlet pass to Knight. Knight tries to connect with Cavern, can't do so. Battle of the neutral zone. Winter behind the play, leaves it. Gershevsky. Brad Stock maintains control for the Spartans. Cuts through the middle. Dodges a couple checks by the Hawks. Plays moved up to Knight. Knight works his way over to DeLang. DeLang fires. Glove saved there by Petz. Good blocker saved there by Petz. Hawks clear the zone all the way down. This will be icing with 11-12 remaining here in the first period. Great play by Knight to get the puck over to DeLang. DeLang had a wide open shot. Took a great high percentage shot, but Petz was there for a good blocker save. Here's Ford Reagan, steps into the face-off circle, opposite of Jake Campbell for the Hawks. Reagan comes up with the face-off, Sutcliffe dumps it towards the net. Reagan comes away with it in the corner. Campbell, good defensive effort, pushes Reagan into the corner, loses the puck. Good two-person pressure, the Hawks come away with it. Hawks manage to clear the zone, but they can't connect on the pass. The Montague to Ramaka pass is just out of reach. This will result in icing with 10:55 remaining here in the first period. Reagan steps into the face-off circle, opposite of Jake Campbell. Campbell the face-off win. Back to Montague. Montague behind the play. Over to Pasqua. Keeps it in for the Spartans. Connors picks it up. Turns, reverses course, loses Reagan. Puck's chipped up high up and over the player's bench by Pasqua. This will be stoppage in play with 10:41 remaining here. Spartans have had more offensive time than the Hawks, yet they've only have 2 shots on net so far. Campbell steps in the face-off circle, opposite of Rory Cavern. Hawks come away with it, dump it into the corner, DeLang. Connors there with a nice play to take it away. Cavern dumps it out front. Picked up by Bardeacon. Bardeacon can't get it past Knight. Knight cuts towards the corner. Knight fires. His blocker saved there by Petz. Puck's wrapped around by Bardeacon. They clear the zone up to Ramaka. Just off at the edge of his stick. Won't be icing. Good defensive effort there by Knockleby. Jacob Thormasgard picks it up in the corner. He's got time. Fires it towards the net. Intercepted here by Dahlhuber. Good play by the Hawks to create a turnover in the neutral zone. DeLang picks it up. He's got Knight racing in. Good defensive effort by Kolasar. Steals up to Jacob Thormisgaard. Thormisgaard cuts across the middle. Dumps it in the zone. Lecky back to pick it up. Tries to get it past Swanson. Swanson with a good pinch. Keeps it in. Gutowski with a good battle along the boards. DeLang comes away with it. Over to Knight. Knight brings it in. He looks. He's got Toussaint racing down the middle, but elects to shoot. Pet's there with a nice glove save. Sam Swanson steps into the face-off circle opposite of Chusinya. Lecky turns, controls it, tries to fire it up along the boards. Connors intercepts in the neutral zone, dumps it back deep. Puck out to Nugent. Nugent brings it back in. Sidesteps Thormisgaard as he brings it into the zone. Nugent leaves it, fires from the point by Malik. Good play by Jacob Thormisgaard. Gutowski cuts to the middle. He fires high. Can't quite get that one on net. Nugent picks up for the Spartans. Leaves it for Toussaint. Intercepted by Connors. Hawks have a 3-on-2. Good rush here. Connors loses his footing as he comes in. Gutowski fires it towards the net, just off the side. Puck's brought back along the boards. Winters. Giel steps up, but not in time to keep the puck in the zone. Back to Kolasar. Kolasar behind his own net. With speed, works up on the near boards. Works his way past Reagan, fires it on net. Foster there with a nice save. The Hawks have proven if they can start to get shots on net, they can create opportunities. With 8:11 remaining, Spartans have 4 shots on net compared to the Hawks 3. Tyler Ramaka steps into the face-off circle. Face-off controlled by Brad Stock. Reverses course on the far side to Winter. Puck's chipped out of the zone. Sutcliffe picks it up for the Spartans as he turns, tries to get past Kolasar. Can't quite do so. Campbell on the near boards. It's just chip loose. Reagan steps up from the point. Works his way over to Bradstye. Winter fires it. Frank Pet's there for a nice save. Pet's has been outstanding all season long. Again, facing the highest number of shots of any Metro West goalie, with a save percentage just below 900. Puck comes loose in front. Pett steers it aside. Sutcliffe dumps it towards the net. Intercepted. Winter steps up, pinches the outlet pass. Sutcliffe centers. Pass go up. Bradstock fires it from the point. Pett's there for a nice save. Puck's chipped loose. Winter loses it. Gutowski with good forecheck pressure. Swanson. The Spartans regain control. Dump it down through the neutral zone. This will go all the way on net. Oh, this will go just wide. Was not called icing. Swanson works his way through the center. Dumps it deep. Ball with Huber. Works his way up on the far boards. Tries to connect with Knight. Can't quite do so. Jackson Giel. Up to Brody Grzeski. Grzeski dumps it in. Takes a big check from DeLang after the play. Grzeski follows his play. Steals it behind the goal line. Cavern and Herman go in at the same time. Puck battle still along the far boards. Cavern. Up the boards to Knight. Knight sidesteps the check, creates a 2-on-1. He's got DeLang, but the puck's bouncing just at the right time. Opportunistic for the Hawks. The puck bounced over the blue line just as he was trying to bring it in. As such, the players entered the zone beforehand, creating an offsides. Lucky break for the Chaska Hawks there, as they had a nice fine 2-on-1 with Knight racing down with the puck and DeLang following on the right-hand side. Puck controlled by the Spartans after the face-off. Giel over to Knight. Knight pins it along the boards. Can't get it past Giel. Good job, good defensive effort there by Giel. Cavern steps in from the point. Over to Knight. Knight fires from the side. Can't get enough wood on it. Nelson chips it out to the point. Cavern tips it in towards net. Loose puck in front. Just tipped wide. Knight almost had himself his 32nd goal of the season. Cavern turns, works his way in, just wide. The Spartans are really putting significant pressure here on this shift. Cavern fires up towards net, misses, wide. Good chip just wide. Now the Hawks need a line change, but they have the play. Puck comes in, tipped up high into the net on the shot by Malik. Good offensive stretch there by the Spartans. Frank Petz was up to the task, as they had 4 high-quality shots there in that sequence. Tusinya steps into the face-off circle, opposite of Campbell. Campbell in the battle on the far boards, up to Hunley. Winter, puck's cleared. Campbell races down the left side. Winter, with good defensive effort, forces Campbell wide. Bradstock picks it up. Battle on the far board, stepped up, fired from the point. Isaac Anderson, Campbell there, just couldn't quite get wood on it. This is a slashing play on number 3, Henry Hunsley. This will be the first power play opportunity of the period. At 4:51 remaining. After the face-off, the Hawks contain the puck, control the puck through the neutral zone. Campbell steps up, works his way through the neutral zone, brings it around the net, looking for a centering pass out to Montague. Montague loses the puck. Puck's picked up by Cavern. He's got Knight on the far side. Knight cuts and he scores. Short-handed opportunity for Knight. That's his 32nd goal of the year. At 4:19 remaining, the short-handed goal. Beautiful assist by Cavern. Resulted in a 2-on-0. Made easy pickings for Knight. That's his 10th. Looks like Petz is having equipment issues, so it looks like they're working on some of his gear. Metro West's leading scorer, Jackson Knight, on a great play to create a 2-on-0. Working with Cavern. Cavern with a great pass. Knight cut across the middle, forced Petz to stretch all the way across the net. Petz was almost there, couldn't quite get it as Knight put the backhand in at the far post. There's still 1:29 remaining in the Chaska power play on the 2-minute slashing penalty by Henley. Still looks like they're. This will give Chaska an opportunity to make sure their top line is fresh when they regain play. mentioned, folks, we've got an equipment challenge here with Chaska Hawks goalie Frank Petz. They're working on trying to repair it down by the skate. 4:19 remaining here in this first period. 1:29 remaining in the Chaska power play. This is some pad.
Oh, it's bad, yeah.
Looks like Petz has finally got the equipment challenge corrected as he'll work his way back towards the net. Petz regains his place in the net. The Hawks step into face-off. Opposite of Max Sutcliffe. Wow. Puck control, dump deep. Looks like they're going to have a reset of the face-off. Not sure why. Looking for an error on the referees. They thought it was icing. Orono picks up the puck. They dump it deep. They make sure they loudly call off the icing. Campbell works his way through the neutral zone. Dumps it deep. Ramaka picks it up on the near side. Back to Swanson. Over to Campbell. Campbell picks it up. And then over to Montague. Montague over to Con net. Good save there by Foster. Sutcliffe works his way down, dumps it deep. Campbell picks it up behind the net. 40 seconds remaining in the Chaska power play. Pass over to Ramaka. Ramaka works his way through the center, intercepted there. Picked up by Knight. Knight works his way with Campbell into the corner. Knight comes away with a puck on a good physical effort. Puck's brought back out. We had a nice critical assessment of the referee's performance to date. Cavern picks up the puck in the neutral zone for the Spartans. They turn. Cavern works his way in. 3 seconds remaining on the Chaska power play. That'll do it. Spartans successfully kill the penalty. Knight fires off the blocker. Good save. Out to Winter. Winter looks over to Knight. Intercepted by Ramaka, but back to Knight. Winter keeps the puck in play. Fires it on net. Trickles just wide. Colasar picks it up. Wraps it around. Swanson. Winter tries to pin it. Can't quite do so, but Bradstock's there to keep the puck in play as he backhands it into the far corner. Colasar battles along the boards with DeLang. Hawks come away with it. Ramaka comes away with it. Dumps it all the way down. This will be icing. 2:08 remaining here in this first period. Face-off controlled by the Hawks. Colasar behind the net. Over to Gershesky. Gershesky to Tyson Herman. Herman tries to dump it deep. Good block there by Leckie. Colasar keeps it in, fires it from the point. Intercepted along the way. Reagan turns. Good forecheck pressure there by Herman and Gershesky to create the turnover. Puck comes out to Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe with a far wide pass, or to Pasqua. Nelson tries to wrap it off the boards, ends up putting it in the Spartans bench for a stoppage in play. 1:35 remaining here in this first period. Spartans lead 1-0 on the goal by Jackson Knight. His 32nd of the season. Swanson. Knuckleby steps in. Knight controls it on the far side. Scott Cavern racing down the middle, intercepted by Connors. Thormesgaard. Thalhuber tried to take Thormesgaard out of the play, missed the puck Hawks are able to clear the zone. Knockleby. Far pass over to Knight. Knight saucers over to Cavern. Cavern cuts around Connors. Cuts towards the net. Takes out Pets for a stoppage in play. Cavern with a strong move towards the net. Lost his footing. .105 remaining here in this first period. Shot from the point by Knight, deflected by Colasar. Puck kept in by Thalhuber. Thalhuber works around. Heel into the corner. Back out to the point by Knight. Knight there. Keeps the puck in play by Thalhuber. Back to Cavern deep. Cavern looks for DeLang. Works his way towards the middle. Cavern. Shot right there. Thalhuber there. Pets there for the save. Thalhuber did a fine job of trying to screen the goalie. Pets was there for the save. 37 seconds remaining here in this first period. Jackson Knight steps into the face-off circle. Opposite of Jake Campbell. Knight comes away with the puck. Can't get the shot off. Tries to wrap around, and he scores! Very quick move by Knight behind the net. Wrap around, and he scores. Looked like he was going to pass it out front, but he turned. Unassisted goal by Jackson Knight with 32 seconds remaining. That's his second goal of the game. That's his 33rd goal of the season. That's the even strength goal, unassisted. Bouncing puck. Toussaint brings it in, dumps it deep. Montague in a battle with Hensley. Knockleby dumps it deep. Montague reverses course. Ramaka can't quite pick it up. Knockleby Hunsley there. Hunsley picks it up in the slot, gets a shot on net. Knockleby from the point tries to get it past Ramaka, but he defensively blocks it. And that'll bring us to our conclusion of the end of the first period. As we move into the conclusion of that first period, the Orono Spartans have 14 shots on net. Pets with 12 saves of the 14 shots. The Hawks have 5 shots on net, with Augusta Foster, having 5 of 5 saves. Strong play by the Spartans to get going in that first period, creating a lot of offensive pressure. The Hawks had the one power play opportunity on the slashing penalty by Hunsley, were unable to capitalize. That brings us to the conclusion of our first period.
I was like, what are you doing?
Welcome back, everybody, as the Orono Spartans take the ice. They're led on the ice by their number one point getter and 2-goal scorer tonight, Jackson Knight. He's got the first 2 goals for the Orono Spartans here in this first period. He scored with 4:19 remaining on a shorthanded, beautiful pass play by Cavern. He followed it up then on a wonderful opportunity from the slot, scored with 32 seconds remaining on an even strength goal. Orono leads 2-0 on 14 total shots in that first period. The Hawks came in with 5 shots on net that period. Frank Petz has been solid in goal for the Hawks. On the other side, Augustus Foster's been solid too. The Hawks traditionally struggle in their first period. The second period has always been a bit of a challenge, but if they can keep pace, keep discipline, if they can keep this game close, they're typically a third period team. In that first period, there was only 1 penalty by Orono's number 3, Henry Hunsley. He had a 2-minute for slashing, which ultimately was the beautiful setup play by Cavern and the goal by Knight to take the 1-0 lead. Hawks take center ice. Jake Campbell into the face-off circle for the Hawks. Opposite will be Rory Cavern. And here we go. Face-off 1 controlled by Orono. Puck battle in the neutral zone. Hawks try to enter the zone. Can't quite do so. Knight brings it in. On the far side works. DeLang fires from the point off the side. Colasar works his way through. DeLang forces the turnover in the neutral zone. Picked up by Cavern. Lost in the center. Good play by Campbell to create the turnover. Knight dumps it deep to Cavern. Cavern looks. DeLang's out front. Tries to center. DeLang couldn't quite get it. Gets a shot on net. Petz is there for the recovery. DeLang really had a nice spot moving across on the far post. Puck came right on his stick, but he fanned on the shot. It gave Petz time to move across the crease, create the save. Ford Reagan steps in the face-off circle opposite Sam Swanson. Swanson with the face-off win. Connors chips it forward. Pasqua keeps it in for the Spartans. Sutcliffe on the far boards battles with Montague. Sutcliffe tries to clear it. Intercepted by Gutowski. Gutowski flips it in the neutral zone. Thalhuber turns, tries to shed. Jacob Thorman's guards right there with a shot right there. Foster takes the shot. 2 point-blank shots. Follow-up one by Swanson. Good play by Foster to keep himself in the period. Pasqua works his way around Connors. Pasqua comes away with it. Pasqua works his way across over to Thalhuber. Thalhuber dumps it towards the net wide. Picked up on the far side. Shot. Quick shot in. It's a rebound by Pasqua. And a goal by number 15, Rocco Pasqua. That's Pasqua's 8th goal of the season. Looked to be unassisted. We'll see if they gave Reagan the assist. .36 remaining here in this second period. Hawks dump the puck deep. Winter picks it up on the far boards. Easy exit of the zone by the Spartans as they work their way around. Here's Toussaint. Toussaint works his way around, reverses course, looks to center it. Shot right out front. Great play by Toussaint. And Boston Foster comes in with the goal. That's Foster's 2nd goal of the season. Two quick bowls by the Spartans right out of the gate here. Hawks control the puck through the neutral zone. Picked up by Cavern. Shot on net, just wide. Picked up by Campbell. Campbell reverses course over to Bardeacon. DeLang tries to work it through the slot area. Campbell with the intercept. DeLang pushes the puck wide, dumps it back deep. Bardeacon chips it in the zone. This will be offsides by the Hawks. They'll have to go ahead and reset. Long outlet pass to Knight. Knight's got DeLang. Knight fires. Pet's there with a good blocker save. Tips it high up into the net. 14:28 remaining here in the second period. Spartans have come out firing. They already have 5 shots on net here in the first 2.5 minutes. Reagan steps into face-off circle with Malik. Malik fires from the point. Blocker save high up in the air. Chipped out loose. Malik again fires from the point. Just chipped wide. Reagan picks it up for the Spartans on the far side. Dumps it deep. Sam Swanson for the Hawks. Picks it up behind the net. Picked up Sutcliffe there behind the net. Got out to the point. Malik fires off Jacob Thorman's guard shin pad into the corner. Wyatt Connors in a battle behind the net. Puck's brought forth. Good forecheck pressure here. Gutowski finally manages to clear the zone. He's got Thorman's guard racing down. Good defensive effort there by the Hawks. Oh, then they got the Hawks 3 right in front. Lexi had gotten out of position. The Hawks had 3 people right in front. Couldn't quite get the shot off. Foster made 1 good save. No rebounds. Sam Swanson bringing it in the corner just out of the reach. Connors fires it from the point. Gutowski, his own player, accidentally blocked the puck. Pass go up to Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe for the Spartans works his way in. Montague pushes him into the corner. Puck's dumped wide. Not quite kept in the zone. Thal or Huber pushes the puck back in. 13-12 remaining here in this second period. This will be a delayed offsides by the Spartans. They have to clear the zone. Puck's flipped high. Mackleby manages to dump it out. Tusaya dumps it in on net. That's a stoppage in play. Pet's there with a nice save. 12:51 remaining here in this second period. Tusaya, the face-off with Herman. Herman with the face-off win over to Grzeski. Puck takes funny boards off, bounce off the boards. Hawks managed to clear the zone, but controlled in the neutral zone by the Spartans. Kolasar in a battle behind the net. Herman. Back to Kolasar. Kolasar fans on the shot. Grzeski brings it out. This appeared to be offsides, but didn't call it. Giel gets turned around, comes away with the puck. Jackson Giel up to the point. Knockleby keeps it in, dumps it deep. Puck battle on the near boards. Dahlhuber keeps it in, fires towards Petz. Petz there, tips it wide. Knockleby turns it around. Foster, third goal scorer there, turns it around. Picked up. Vern works his way towards the slot. Good defensive effort there by Kolasar to tip the pass. Shot right out from the front, picked up. Shot by DeLang, just wide. DeLang tries to work his way through. Herman manages to clear the zone. Dahlhuber turns. Long outlet pass to Cavern. Cavern right to DeLang. Good play by Jake Campbell on back check. Puck's loose in the slot. Knight picks it up. Fires it on net, just off. They call it a goal. Beautiful play by Knight as he scores the hat trick. That's his 3rd goal of the game. That's his 35th goal of the season. Campbell comes away after the face-off. Puck's dumped deep. The Spartans turn, they clear. This will be offsides on the Spartans. Stoppage of play with 11:02 remaining. Spartans have really come out firing here in this second period. They already have 10 shots on net in the first 6 minutes of action. Reagan steps into face-off circle opposite of Campbell. The Hawks enter the zone. They got a 2-on-1. Play over to Campbell. Couldn't quite get it on Campbell's stick. This looks like it'll be a holding penalty or a slash on Orono's number 11, Jake Bradstock. Jake Campbell was racing down on the far side. The slash was to try to avoid him getting the 2-on-0. .10:51 remaining here in this second period. Campbell out at the point. This will be the Hawks' second power play opportunity. They're 0 for 1 on the first opportunity. Connors works his way behind puck on the far perimeter. Connors over to Montague, just misses. Ramaka enters the zone, looks to set up, turns, works his way down. Sam Swanson over to Ramaka. Ramaka with a shot. Puck's loose, bouncing in front, and he shoots just wide by Campbell. Ramaka picks it up behind the net. Hawks finally look like they're getting some offensive pressure here on this power play. Puck's just chipped wide by Knight. Knight's got a jump. Knight works his way down into the corner with Montague. Cavern picks it up on the far side. Ramaka finally gets control. Back to Jake Campbell behind the net. As he turns, wraps it over to Ramaka. Good forecheck pressure here by the Spartans to prevent the Hawks from getting good penetration into the zone. They dump it deep behind. Knock will be there. Ramaka picks it up on the far side. Hawks settle it down. Pass it right out front. It's right on the backhand of Montague. He's not able to get the shot off. Shot there, Augustus Foster there with the save. 39 seconds remaining in the Chaska power play. On the 2-minute penalty for slashing by Bradstock. Face-off controlled by the Hawks. Grishevsky sends it over to Kolesar outside of the zone. Hawks will have to reset. They do so. Malik picks it up behind the net. Mason Gutowski on the near boards. Good stoppage. Gains control. Over to Alex Bardekin as he works his way around the far corner. Out to the point. Kolesar stops, fires towards the net. Tipped wide. Puck's cleared. All the way down. Kolesar there, being pursued by Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe with good forecheck pressure. Steals. Toussaint controls. Malik fires towards the net, right on Petz, right into the breadbasket. Petz there with a save. Hawks were able to get a few offensive shots off on that power play opportunity. Campbell steps into the face-off circle for the Hawks. Back to Malik. Maintains control for the Spartans. Keeps the puck in. DeLang picks it up behind the net. Cavern turns for the Spartans. Tries to cut towards the middle. Good defensive effort there by Giel to push him wide. DeLang picks it up out to Malik. Malik cross ice over to Lacey. Lacey fires it in. Tipped wide. Knight picks up the puck over to Malik. Malik fires on net. Puck's loose in front. Back into the corner, Cavern out to Malik. Malik back to Cavern as they work the way down. DeLang behind the net. Cuts. Leaves the puck for Cavern. Cavern tries to cut back. Campbell there for the intercept. Puck's loose in front. Hawks finally clear the zone, but the Spartans maintain control. Spartans bounce it up, bring it around. Giel turns, takes a big check from Leckie. DeLang tried to create the turnover, couldn't quite do so. Campbell picks it up on the far side. Campbell with a good play. He's got Ramaka down the middle. Ramaka fires and he scores! Finally, the Hawks get on the board on a great forecheck, pressured by Campbell to create the turnover. Sees Ramaka busting down the center. Beautiful play by the Hawks. Finally get on the board. That's Ramaka's 14th goal of the season. Right off the faceoff, Tusinya picks the puck up, drives all the way down between the defenders, gets a shot on net, Pet's there for the save. Knockleby dumps it around. Puck's dumped all the way down. Tusinya steps into the face-off circle opposite of Swanson. Puck picked up by Campbell. Campbell flips it up right off one of the fans in the crowd. Thankfully, the fan does not appear to be hurt. That could have been pretty rough. It came less than an inch away from hitting her in the head. As we regain action, Knockleby down. Gutowski with good forecheck pressure. It's wrapped all the way around. Swanson picks it up in the neutral zone. The Spartans chip the puck into the zone. Foster wraps it up. Thalhuber clears, controls over to Knockleby. Works his way over to Nugent. Nugent works the puck behind the net with Swanson. Foster picks it up behind the net. Foster wraps it around. Montague dumps it deep into the corner. Hawks maintain control. Swanson with the breakout. Over to Thormesgaard. Thormesgaard loses it in the neutral zone. Dumped into the zone, but not quite deep enough. Knockleby will turn. Reverse his course. Over to Thalhuber. Thalhuber clears. Good step up by Connors to keep the puck from getting deep in the zone. It is dumped deep. Orono moves it out front. Ramaka finally chips it out of the zone. This will go all the way down for an icing. This will create a stoppage in play with 5:49 remaining here in the second period. With 5:49 remaining, Orono's put 14 shots on net to the Hawks 5 here in this second frame. Campbell steps in the face-off circle with Reagan. Campbell with the face-off win. Chips along the boards. Good give and go for the Hawks as they clear the zone by Ramaka. It's a nice 3-on-2 rush just behind Ramaka as he dumps it deep to Campbell. Picks it up behind the net. Avoids the check of Brad Stock right out front. Couldn't quite connect with Ramaka. Pasqua, cross ice, works his way back towards the center. Bardeacon picks it up for the Hawks. Turns, fires across ice over to Ramaka. Ramaka works his way through the neutral zone. Leaves it for Campbell, back to Ramaka. Ramaka behind the net. Campbell out front. Campbell gets a shot on net. Couldn't quite get a lot of wood on it, but Foster was there for the save. Cavern will step into the face-off circuit opposite Jake Campbell. The Hawks, Campbell. Puck comes away by the Spartans as they try the long outlet pass to Knight. Knight turns, fires on net. Bardeacon brings it out of the zone. Bardeacon dumps it deep. Leckie picks it up behind the net for the Spartans. Along the far boards, they clear it all the way over to Knight. Knight tips it into the zone. Montague turns. Fires over to DeLang. DeLang works his way behind. Puck comes out front. Good save by Petz, right off the shoulder. Cavern brought the puck out from behind the net. DeLang had a nice shot. Petz there with a good shoulder save. Jumped on the loose puck. 4:32 remaining here in this second period. Cavern with the face-off to Knight. Knight with a shot on net. Follow-up shot by Cavern. Petz steered them both aside. Cavern picks it up in the far corner. The Hawks manage to clear the zone. Here's Gutowski in a race with Malik. Gutowski stops, looks for some help. Dumps it across. Doesn't connect. Cavern picks it up on the far side. Turns, exits the zone. Cavern works his way towards the middle. Puck's loose in front. Bounces through. DeLang picks it up to Cavern. Cavern for the Spartans works his way on the near boards. In the offensive zone, he looks, gets the fires on net. Petz there for the save. Puck's still loose. Gutowski finally picks it up, loses an edge, does manage to clear the zone. Swanson picks it up, chips it down on Foster. Foster has to steer it aside. Dahlhuber tries to get it past Gershevsky. Gershevsky dumps it back behind the net. Malik turns, works his way up to Knight. Knight works his way across, looking, tries to complete the pass to Nugent, can't quite do so. But Nugent picks it up on the far side, turns, wraps it around the perimeter, cuts around the blue line, looking for a shot in the slot. Good play by Kolasar to keep him wide. Kolasar forced him out wide. Dahlhuber picks it up at the point. Dahlhuber dumps it behind the net. But the Spartans Hawks having to spend a lot of time defending their own goal. Puck's loose. Kolasar picks it up. Long outlet pass to Campbell. Campbell tips it. Knockleby chips it free, but Bardeacon's there. Centers the pass, can't quite connect. Here's Boston Foster, works his way down on the near side. Forster turns toward the net. Petz there for the save. Ford Reagan into the corner. Stolen by Connors. Connors wraps it around to Ramaka. Ramaka clears the zone. Dumps it all the way down. This will be icing with 1:44 remaining here in this second period. What's that?
You lost camera for a little bit.
Oh. Sam Swanson in for the face-off circle. Opposite of Ford Reagan. Puck controlled by the Hawks. Reagan with the steal into the corner. Up to the point. Fired from the point from Malik. Up to Brad Stock. Dumps it towards the net. Intercepted by Montague. Montague chips the puck free to Thormisgaard. Thormisgaard dumps it deep. Montague works his way around. Sam Swanson picks it up on the far side, keeps the puck deep. Brzezinski there. Oh, great play by Gutowski to Thormisgaard. Thormisgaard with a nice shot on net. Good play by Foster there on the save. Foster moved across for a good blocker save. Puck's high off the glass. Kolasar Chips it to Reagan. Ford Reagan picks it up in the slot, fires. Pet's there for the easy glove save. And the stoppage of play with 52 seconds remaining here in this second period. The Hawks have been able to generate a little bit more offensive pressure here in the second period. Unfortunately, so has the Orono Spartans as they've taken a 5-1 lead. Puck controlled by DeLang into the corner. This has been a really wicked line for the Spartans tonight. DeLang, Cavern, and Knight. Puck's turned around as they come back through. Campbell with the steal on the far side. Vardekin picks it up, clears his zone. Lecky back. 27 seconds remaining here in the second period. Intercepted by Campbell, but he's got to wait for Ramaka to come out of the zone. Vardekin dumps it deep. Good play by Alex Vardekin to keep the puck deep into the corner. Puck's chipped free out to Knight. Jackson Knight works down. He's got Cavern and DeLang. DeLang back to Knight. Knight fires and he scores. That is Jackson Knight's fourth goal of the evening. With 6 seconds remaining here in this second period. DeLang with a beautiful return pass. As Orono takes a 6-1 lead into the second intermission. Story of that second period after 34 minutes. It's been all pressure by the Spartans, creating significant turnovers in their offensive zone, giving them extra shots. They lead on the shots, 37 shots to the Chaska's 12. In that period, the Spartans had 23 shots on net for a grand total of 37. 31 saves by Frank Petz. On the opposite side, Augustus Foster has faced 12 shots on net, stopping 11 of those 12. There was only one penalty in that period by Orono's number 11, Jake Bradstock. 2 minutes for slashing. The Hawks were unable to capitalize on the penalty opportunity. So they're 0 for 2 at this point. As we head into this intermission, we'll want to make sure that the Hawks come out and play that third period as they can pressure as they typically do. With that, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, as we get ready here for the third period of action. The Orono Spartans have a 6-1 lead on 37 shots compared to the Hawks 12. The story of the game so far has been the domination by Jackson Knight, scoring 4 goals, his 32nd through 36th goals through the first 2 periods. He's been distributing the puck very well between DeLange and Cavern. That top line has really put a significant amount of pressure on the Hawks. Frank Petz has been solid in net for the Hawks, as Augustus Foster has been for the Spartans. Here we go, folks. Jake Campbell steps into the face-off circle opposite of Cavern. The Hawks maintain control after the face-off out to Ramaka. Ramaka works through the neutral zone, steps up, chips it toward the corner. Campbell and Bardekin converge behind. Good play by Cavern to ride Campbell into the corner. Puck battle. This will be a cross-check penalty here on number 20, Connor Malik. This looks like it'll be cross-check. This will give the Hawks their 3rd power play opportunity. Yeah. Jake Campbell steps into the face-off circle opposite of Cavern. So far, the Spartans have been very good at killing penalties tonight. They have a shorthanded goal on the first power play opportunity by the Hawks. Puck's dumped deep into the corner by Ramaka as they try to set up on the near side. Swanson out to Campbell in the offensive zone. Campbell over to Swanson. Swanson toe drag, fires just up and over the net. Up into the netting. It'll create a stoppage and play with 1:36 remaining here in the Chaska power play. Sam Swanson steps in the face-off circle opposite of Sutcliffe. Hawks maintain control around the perimeter. Out to the point. Montague works it over to Campbell. Campbell keeps it in the zone. Dumps it down into the corner with Connors. Good play by Knockleby. Hand pass. They didn't call it. Pascua works his way all the way out. Fires it across the net. Hawks maintain control. Campbell picks up the puck in the neutral zone. They got a 3-on-2 rush. Ramaka. Campbell races down for the middle. It was tipped. Puck's loose in front. Swanson scores! Great play by the Hawks to converge on the net. Good offensive rush, giving them the power play goal. Hawks bring the score to 6-2. With 15:28 remaining here in this third period. Puck's wrapped around by Connors. Connors up the boards. Nelson can't quite clear it. Cavern keeps the puck in, but then ultimately cleared by Connors as he chips it all the way down. This will be an icing, stoppage and play, which will give the Hawks an opportunity to go ahead and get a fresh line change. Tyson Herman steps in the face-off circle with Cavern. Up to the point, Knight fires. Blocker save there by Petz. High off the glass, bouncing puck. Winter managed to keep it in. DeLange looks. He's got Knight in the slot. Knight fires again, high and up and over the net. Knight tries to cut it through. Down low to Cavern, can't quite do so. Giel there to intercept. Dumps it out of the zone. Puck's chipped back in. Colasar behind his own net. Puck's let loose. Here's Bradstock. Works it towards the middle. Cavern chips it high up into the net. Petz there with the glove save. Good play by Bradstock to step in from the point with speed. Got the pass over to Cavern. Cavern with a chip up. Couldn't quite get enough wood on to get it past Petz. step into the face-off circle. Opposite of Sam Swanson. Reagan with the win. Shot on net. Petz there for the easy save. Sam Swanson opposite of Reagan. Reagan with a face-off win. Controlled by the Hawks. They clear the zone. Sam Swanson tried to pass up to Gutowski. Gutowski lost his footing. Pucks into the corner. Sutcliffe clears. Colasar steps across, dumps it back deep. Lecky works his way into the corner. Swanson takes an awkward bounce into the boards. Hopefully he's okay. Puck battle in the far corner. Swanson comes away with it. Fires it towards the net. For Foster there with the save. Puck's dumped out free out front. Pasqua clears the zone out to Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe, 2-on-2, fires it in towards the net. Good defensive play there by Wyatt Connors to intercept. Swanson dumps it behind the net. Wyatt Connors there, picks it up. Thormesgaard chips it just free. Pasqua to Gutowski, good forecheck pressure there by Mason Gutowski. Singular effort as he works his way into the corner. Campbell stops, fires it on net just wide. Foster mistimed it, but it was just wide. Campbell picks it up in the far corner, works his way towards the middle. Nice long pass over to Montague. Montague with a one-timer, and Foster there for the save. .13 remaining here in this third period. The Spartans with a 6-2 lead. Cavern steps into the face-off circle. Controlled, DeLang exits the zone. Montague picks it up in the neutral zone. Can't dump it deep. Picked up again by DeLang. Strong move on the near boards. Finally, the Spartans enter the zone. Connors there to pick it up. He flips it high up, exits. Battle in the neutral zone. Puck's tipped into the corner. Jackson Knight picks it up for the Spartans. Dumps it out front to DeLang. Puck's loose in front. After it rattles off the defenseman, Petz is there for the save. Cavern steps into the face-off circle, opposite of Sam Swanson. Puck's loose in front. Good intercept there by Jacob Thormesgaard as he works his way through the neutral zone. Tries to pass over to Gutowski. Gutowski tries to dump it in, doesn't quite do so. Puck's cross ice over to Knight. Knight over to DeLang. DeLang fires it back to Knight, but it's lost. Bouncing puck across, picked up by Cavern on the far side. Heel. Knight takes a good check by Colasar. DeLang sidesteps. Swanson creates a turnover. Swanson picks it up. Good play by Thalhuber to keep the puck in the zone. Finally, the Hawks pick it up. Gutowski clears it, works his way around Knockleby, and that'll be icing for the Hawks. 11:53 remaining here in this third period. Toussaint steps into the face-off circle, opposite of Jake Campbell. Toussaint wins the face-off, back to Winter. Winter over to Bradstock. Bradstock stops, turns, tries to work his way around Wyatt Connors. Sheds Connors, dumps it deeper. Spartans maintain control. Bradstock tries to cut towards the middle, loses his footing. Connors comes away with it. With speed, Connors over to Ramaka. Ramaka brings it in. Ramaka's taken off the puck by Winter. Or Deacon picks it up in the slot, tries to get the shot off. Can't quite do so. Toussaint with a good play to take him off the puck. Nugent fires it deep. Wraps it around. Wyatt Connors there, picks it up behind the net. It's taken out of the play. Puck's left there by Foster as he works his way around. Here's Tusanya. Dumps it deep. Connors picks it up below. Takes a check. Clears the zone to Bardeacon. Bardeacon chips it down in. Hawks will need to get a line change here. Good forecheck pressure here by Ramaka and Campbell. They create the turnover. Tusanya gives it up. Campbell with the puck on the slot. Can't get the shot off. Spartans manage to steal. They clear the zone as they try to bring it in. Here's Campbell as he turns it in. He's got Nelson just offsides. Nelson fresh off the bench. Didn't quite match the speed of Campbell coming into the zone, creating offsides with 10:24 remaining. Face-off win by Herman. Malik dumps it deep, reverses course over to Leckie. Leckie works his way up to the point, up to Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe has got Reagan racing down the middle, passes it through. Malik keeps it in on the far side. Sutcliffe works his way through. Tries to center it out, but Pence tips the puck. It's bouncing up to the point. Shot from the point by Malik. It's chipped free. Pasqua over to Sutcliffe. Good give and go by Sutcliffe. Back to Pasqua. Gets a shot off. It's bouncing puck. Kershesky picks it up and fires it out of the zone. This will be icing. With 9:38 remaining here in this third period. Shots here in this third period are all squared each at 5 each. Swanson steps into the faceoff circle with Cavern. Knight picks it up, fires from the point. Great play there by Frank Petz. Cavern with the clean faceoff win gave Knight a nice opportunity right in the slot. Petz was there for the save. Swanson with the faceoff win, wraps it around, bouncing puck, leaves his zone, but it's tipped. Mason Gutowski in pursuit is the first Hawk there. Good two-person forecheck pressure by the Hawks right in front. Thormsgaard couldn't quite get the stick on it. The Spartans clear the zone, forcing the Hawks to reset. Knockleby clears the zone, wraps it across. Pass is lost. Dahlhuber over to Knight. Knight works down on the far side, fires right off Petz's mask. Picked up by Connors. Connors knocks it loose. Knockleby there, knocked it down, so this will not be icing. Knockleby with a long outlet pass to Knight. Knight's got DeLang as he works his way through. Should have been offsides, wasn't. Knight fires. Linesman was out of position, missed the call. Campbell in the face-off circle opposite of Reagan. Face-off win by Reagan, back to Bradstock. Bradstock works his way on the far boards, tries to clear it through the middle. Picked up by Bardeacon. Bardeacon clears the zone. This looked like it hit a Chaska player along the bench. This will be a stoppage in play, deep back into the Chaska Hawk zone. 8:26 remaining here in this period. Campbell steps into the face-off circle with Tusanya. Tusanya with a face-off win. Back to Bradstock. Bradstock keeps it in. Puck dumped down. Here's Pasqua as he works his way towards the slot. He fires high and wide. Winter keeps it in on the near side. Kolasar can't quite clear the zone. They do. Ramaka with a battle. Bardeacon up to Campbell, just out of the reach of Campbell. Campbell leaves it for Ramaka. Turns back. Campbell picks it up on the far side. Colasar fires from the point. Foster didn't quite see it. Puck came loose. Long pass. Played by Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe couldn't get the shot off on time. Good play by Brad Stock to shed the defender. As he works his way towards the middle, he fires high and wide. Bardeacon chips it high up into the Chaska bench for a stoppage in play with 7:29 remaining. Sam Swanson steps into the face-off circle, opposite of Cavern. Swanson with the face-off win. Connors chips it up and out. Lecky there for the Spartans. Mason Gutowski with good forecheck pressure. Steals from Lecky. Dumps it right in front. Tipped aside. Swanson right in front and he shoots! Gutowski had a great shot right in front, but Foster made a great play to cut back across the crease with a great save. Good play by the Hawks. Swanson recognizing Gutowski right there in the slot. Swanson with the face-off win. DeLang ties up Gutowski. Shot by Swanson. Pushed into the corner by Foster. Puck wrapped around by Knight. Knight tries to chip it free. Puck's pinned along the far boards. Dahlhuber. DeLang finally comes away with it. Chips it up to Knight. Knight works down on the far side. Fires off Petz. Petz there with a save. Cavern with a rebound. Puts it on net. Petz again with the save. Puck stop. 6:42 remaining here in this third period. The play's been much more even here in this third period. As the Hawks have shown all season long, they're a solid third period team. Campbell and Cavern in the face-off circle. Cavern comes away with it. He shoots Petz with a quick leg save. Cavern with a really quick shot. Almost got it past Petz. Give and go right out front. Ramaka. Picked up by DeLang in the neutral zone. Puck's chipped along the far side. DeLang out in front. Knight. Knockleby dumps it deep. Cavern stops, turns. Back out to Knockleby. Knockleby toward the net. Knight fires it up and over into the netting for a stoppage in play. Lineman's having a hard time keeping his position. He's missed multiple offsides here. Back to Nugent. Puck's fired. Bouncing puck right in front. Tyson Herman comes away with it. Herman up to Nelson. Nelson turns. This will be a penalty. Toussaint is going to get the roughing penalty. This will give the Hawks their fourth power play opportunity at 5:51 remaining here in this third period. So far the Hawks are 0 for 3. Campbell steps in, wins the face-off against Cavern. Controlled by Swanson, out to the point, Montague. Montague to Ramaka. Ramaka down low. Swanson. Back up to Campbell. Campbell fires, and the puck's chipped loose and free. A lot of extracurricular activity in front of the net. Referees can't maintain control with stoppage in play. Looks like the referee's going to take both players. Not sure how Sam Swanson on the bottom of the pile ends up with a penalty, but he does. For the Spartans, a slashing penalty called against Swanson and a roughing penalty on Knockleby. The Coincidental Miners will keep Chaska on the power play for another minute 45. Knight picks up the puck. Long pass all the way down. Cavern. Cavern sidesteps. Campbell. Campbell picks it up. Over to Montague. Long outlet pass to Ramaka. Ramaka dumps it deep. Puck off the side of the net. Picked up, cleared by the Spartans. Campbell picks up the puck behind the net. Just out of the reach of Connors. Bradstock for the Spartans dumps it all the way down. 4:49 remaining here in the third period. 47 seconds remaining in the Chaska power play. Montague out to Ramaka. Ramaka dumps it deep. Gutowski on the far side picks it up. It's being held. He's pulled down. No penalty. Winter comes away with the puck. Knight chips the puck free. All the way down. Campbell picks it up in the Chaska end. 13 seconds remaining on the Chaska power play. Sutcliffe with the steal. Cuts his way towards the middle. Tries to get to Pasqua. Good kick save there by Petz. Krzyzewski clears the zone. Sutcliffe turns. Fires. Bardeacon intercepts, but Sutcliffe comes back with it. Winter over to Bradstock. Krzyzewski with the steal right out to the front in the slot. Bardeacon there. Hayden Nelson didn't have it on his forehand, couldn't get the shot off. Puck's cleared by the Spartans. Giel in retreat. Turns. Exits the zone. Sutcliffe with the steal in neutral zone as he turns. Fires it on net. Giel with the block. Giel comes away with the block. Pasqua picks it up on the near side. Intercepted by Hayden Nelson. Hawks clear the zone. Leckie fires it back over to Malik. Malik back to Leckie. Leckie leaves it for Foster. Colasar dumps it forward. Nelson. Leckie with a steal. Nelson gets the puck on the far side, shoots, and he scores! Great play by Hayden Nelson to pick up the loose puck in the slot as he puts it past Foster. That's Nelson's second goal of the season at 2:47 remaining here in this third period. Herman, opposite of Cavern. Puck controlled by the Spartans. Knight chips it forward to Cavern. Cavern's got Foster moving down the slot. Knight there. Petz there with a save with 2:34 remaining. Herman picked up by Cavern. Cavern looking for Knight. Can't quite complete the pass. Connors clears the zone. Controlled by the Spartans. Puck's chipped free. Good pass across the place. And Foster on the far post. Almost pushes it by Pets. Puck's wrapped around. 2:04 remaining here in this third period. Centering pass right up front. Sumstead chips it deep. This will give the Hawks an opportunity for a line change. This will be icing. Orono's really come out firing here in this third period, as they have 16 shots to the Hawks 10. Swanson, face-off, controlled by the Orono. Bradstock turns, races along the far side. Toussaint, right in front, puck's loose in front. Toussaint fires. Finally, Nugent picks up the loose puck and he scores. With 1:38 remaining. Orono gets their first goal of the third period to take a 7-3 lead. That's Nugent's second goal of the season. Face-off controlled by Cavern. Cavern out front. Puck's loose. Cut toward the middle. Hawks can't clear the zone. Knight out at the point. Leaves it for Bradstock. Bradstock works his way deep below the goal line. Back out to Knight. Reverses course. Swanson. Hawks can't clear the zone. Bradstock keeps it in. Hawks finally clear the zone. 59 seconds remaining here in the contest. Colasar. Toussaint. Battle behind the goal line. Pass right up front. Knight fires and he scores. That's Knight's fifth goal of the evening. That'll be his 37th goal on the season. I hate to say it right off the face-off, folks. That'll be Knight's sixth goal of the game. It's a double hat trick. I assume it does. Yeah. Yeah, there were only 41 seconds remaining. But wait a second. Listen, if you're going to stop to recognize a player, don't run the clock. After recognizing Jackson's night's record performance, he sets an all-time Orono school record with 91 goals in a career. We'll restart action here with the last 40 seconds. Because of the 6-goal differential, it'll be a running time. Cooper Swanson steps in to take the face-off. Montague. Wyatt Connors. Frank Petz there for the save. That'll do it, folks. That's the final, folks. The Orono Spartans with a 9-3 win. Performance of the game, clearly by Jackson Knight. 6 goals on the evening. .58 total shots on net by the Spartans to Hawks 23. That was 19 in that third period by the Hawks. And 11 for the Hawks, by the Spartans. But that'll do it, folks, here from the Orono Ice Arena. We'll see